I think we have to understand that um, nobody actually knows anything for sure. And I don't mean to say like the obvious truths or the general knowledge about the world. I mean to say the real questions. I mean to say something that's the great thinkers and the philosophers been pondering over for like thousands of years. And in lieu of that, I think it is only natural to be interested to pursue uh, your own way. What I mean to say actually is that since nobody knows anything, we might as well try and find it out ourselves. And I think going forward, I'd like to preface it by saying we are not going to find anything because it is not possible. Because it is, I think, unrealistic. I think it is impossible to truly understand, let's say, the world, the universe, like what is going on. I think it is impossible. I might not know I might not know anything as well. I might say that it's impossible, but however, it doesn't throw me off of my pursuit, right? I will still go, I will still move, I'll still try to find the truth. However, it will be my truth. And I want to really underline it here because that's what I want it to be. I want it to be your personal truth. I want it to make sense for you. I want it to make meaning for you. I want you to keep an open mind at things. I want you to find something that works for you and for you only, period. Right? I think that's crucial, I think that's vital, and I think that's important. Because people have been taking, existing frameworks, existing points of view on the world, outlooks on the world, and they've been preaching. And I really don't like preaching because what makes you think that you know any better? Just because you believe in it makes it like worthy, or what? I really want people to not forget who they are, who they were as kids, let's say. Because as kids, we are brought into this world, we're curious, we are interested, we ask a lot of questions. So my question is now, where did it all go? Why are we so quick, so ready to replace our own thirst for knowledge, which is deep inside our souls? Why are we so ready to replace it with some boring, bland ass fucking existing frameworks? Why do we do that? And part of me, I actually know answer to this question, because we don't want to be ostracized. We don't want to be left alone, right? Because being in a community is always better than being by yourself. And it's a silly question, right? You can ask me like, dude, if you know already, right? What are you talking here? And I'll circle back to the point that I made in a couple previous videos, is that we all of us are in such like day and age. We are in such a world where we can't afford to be on our own. Being ostracized doesn't mean, being executed, being, thrown away from the tribe, being eaten by the fucking, scary wolf in the forest, right? We don't need to sit around the campfire anymore to survive, We don't necessarily need that society's approval. That's what I'm trying to say. Of course, you don't have to be an antisocial fucking guy who sits in his room all day. Not at all. That's not I mean. That's not what I mean to say. I mean to say that those patterns were there for a reason, right? Society meant life. Belonging meant life. Being together, being in community meant life, meant surviving. And being ostracized, removed, being on your own, alone, that meant death. And I do understand that. But that is a deep-rooted pattern in ourselves that we were, having for God knows how many years it happened. I don't know, millions of years, because we never know when, evolution started. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So we have this deep-seated, deep-rooted pattern which we are not aware of. And yes, of course, humans are social creatures. We need society, of course. But at the same time, in deeper pursuit, in higher pursuit, I think we do have to realize that we are on our own since birth till death. Genuinely, there is only us. Yes, we have friends. Yes, we have family. Yes, we have loved ones. Yes, it's such a huge world. There's so many people. But somewhere deep down inside, it's just you. It's just you and your path and your walk. So yes, walk it and accept that you are alone in this pursuit. And this pursuit is more, I think that's the whole main reason why we are here, honestly. So yeah, I'm just trying to say that stay open, stay curious, ask questions, always ask questions. And when you start asking questions, you might start realizing, well, you know what, actually, what I've been believing in my whole life might not even work for me. And that's fine, because it's not supposed to work for you. It's supposed to broadly, segregate people into categories, give you a false sense of belonging, false sense of identity, which you derive from it. And that's also fine, because that's how people were functioning, and that was necessary, that was for a reason. But we are free from that now. You can move on your own. You can move by yourself. You can have this deep pursuit. Yeah. And I genuinely think that's the most important thing out there. Yeah, and I mean, what was bothering me always, yeah, it's just that constant preaching of people who identify themselves with outdated frameworks, and they are just trying to lure you in. They're trying to argue, build arguments. They're trying to present it to you how you're wrong and they're right. And I think one of the most important things you can do ever is to not argue, because what's the point? I think I stopped arguing online long ago, and I do not even see the point in arguing actually anymore, over truths, over this is ridiculous, because what can you tell me, right? I'm not saying that I know everything, but you also don't know everything. So if I'm not there already, it means that it doesn't work for me. So what can you tell me exactly which will turn my mind around and make me want to join? And this is another thing that I wanted to underline, is that nobody knows what's good for you. Nobody knows what is best for you. You know who knows? You. Only you know what is good for you. And sure, I'm talking here about deeper pursuit or something. But that's what I want you to. That's where I want you to go. That's where I want you to become. This deep pursuit Sure, it's the most like important thing ever, but at the same time there are thousands of smaller actions which you do every day, right? And I want you to take agency there as well. Stop letting people dictate who you are, what you wear, how do you identify yourself, you know? Who are you friends with? Who is in your immediate surrounding? I don't know, where you work. Let you decide for yourself. Pursue what you want to pursue. Do what you want to do. It only has to make meaning for you. It only has to make meaning for you. There is no point in just catering to someone else but you. I don't know, disappoint your parents, disappoint your friends, but I think your friends will stay by you if they're real friends. Sure, disappoint your society, fuck it, honestly, fuck it. You just have one life and one life only. You are here for a limited time. Do not waste it living by the rules created by someone else. You can't afford it. You can't afford it. It's too expensive. It's too much. You cannot do that. Living is experiencing. Living is making mistakes. Living is making your own choices. Because if you don't make your own choices, how can you truly say that you existed, right? I mean, I know. How can you say that you truly lived? You were just existing, sure. But then you didn't do what you wanted to do. You didn't go where you wanted to. What if that was the most important part? To choosing yourself, to choosing to not conform to the guidelines, to the authority, to doing it anyway despite the backlash, to stepping your step, to bringing what you have inside to the world, spreading your vision, making world a tiniest bit better. What if that was the point of it all? What if you make your own meaning? Exactly. Since there is no meaning and nobody knows anything, might as well create our own, right? And to me, meaning is exactly that. Just doing what I want to do. That is my greatest success. And I will be successful if I will be doing what I want to do in my life. I will be going where I want to go. I'll be talking who I want to talk to. I'll be creating what I feel like I need to create from the bottom of my heart or my soul. And then, when I will be dying, I will have no regrets. I'll have absolutely zero regrets. Because whatever came into my head, whatever was shouting from my soul, I heard it, I understood it. Let's say I wrote it down, and I just did it. And that's honestly the whole point, I think, of me talking here to you, and the whole point of this channel really is to reiterate it to myself, firstly, and secondly, if whoever ever sees this, please hear me out. Please listen to this. You need to do things your way. You absolutely need to do that. This is crucial. This is the most important thing. Because again, nobody knows what meaning is. Nobody knows why are we here. Why were we born? Why will we die? Why is it just such a limited time here? But if there is no meaning whatsoever, then whatever you choose to do has all the meaning ever. You understand? Like there was no meaning and it's just chaos. But you choose to do something. And that is your meaning. That is why it makes life worth living. Because of the impact that you bring. Because if nothing else matters, this is what matters. What you choose to do every single day, this is what matters.